Hey guys, it's Allie Bay here, and today I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about something that's going on in my life that's kind of, well, I should probably turn my fan off. That's kind of important, and it is something that I'm currently going through, and I figured if somebody else is going through this, they could probably benefit from me talking about it. If anybody, I know nobody watches these videos, but it's kind of like a for me thing. So, I have this friend, and we'll call them Helium. Not for any particular reason, their voice isn't like high or anything, but we'll just call them Helium for the sake of this video. And Helium was a very good friend of mine, very happy person, very outgoing, um, very thin. Not terribly thin though, but very thin. And about a month ago, Helium started dating somebody. And the person that Helium was dating does drugs. And I'm not talking like, oh, they smoke weed. No, they do some very hardcore drugs that I have friends that do, or have old friends that did. So I've seen already what those kinds of drugs can do to people. And I told Helium, as long as you're with this person and he's influencing you to do these kinds of things and he's being manipulative the way he is being, I don't think we should talk. I don't want to see you destroy your life like I've seen past friends do. And I'm a very not selfish person. I will 99% of the time put other people in front of myself, but this one time I have to be selfish. I cannot watch another friend destroy themselves with drugs and with an abusive relationship. And Helium did not like that. And I told them, whenever you get out of this relationship like you want to, come to me. But until then, I don't want to be talking. If you need something, I'm still here. But other than that, I don't want to just like be friends. And Helium really did not like that. And they said that they just don't want to be friends even after they break up with this person. And I just figured this was like a perfect thing to make a video on, because it just goes to show that even if you have the best intentions in your heart, sometimes it doesn't always work out. And that's whatever, it happens. But I mean, yeah, it sucks, but sometimes you just gotta be like, you gotta not be afraid to lose people, because in the end, I know that if Helium truly needs me, they know that I am still here and they can come to me. And if they choose not to, I'm sorry, but that's not my fault. That's not my problem. Like, I've already had to come pick them up out of jail. I've had to drive an hour one way just to go pick them up from this house party because they were too drugged up and they didn't want to be there. And let me make this clear, I don't do drugs. I don't condone doing drugs. But because of my personality and who I am, I fit better with those kinds of people. I don't know why, but I don't really fit in with like the outcasts or like the emos or the jocks or any of that. I kind of fit in with the druggies, which again, I don't do drugs. I don't really condone doing drugs. The only thing I really condone is recreational marijuana use because it's been proven that there's a lot of benefits to that, but there's not a lot of there's no benefits to heroin. There's no benefits to cocaine. There's no benefits to meth. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I know that Helium knows that if they are truly in a bind and they need me, I will be there. I will be there to go pick them up. I will be there to talk to them. I will be there to, not even talk to them, but just sit. If they need somebody to just sit with them because they don't want to be alone, I will be there. And they know that because I have already done it countless times. And just because there's this little hiccup in our friendship doesn't mean that they don't know. Like, I told them when we were talking about it that, whatever, I'm still here, always be here. And, like, that's the attitude you kind of have to go in with. Like, you don't want to come in hostile, like, oh, break up with them, don't do drugs, blah, blah, blah. And you don't want to, you don't want to let that kind of stuff slide because that's just going to lead to Kaya. I smacked my bed. That's just going to lead to even for, bigger problems down the road. If you don't intervene with drug use early, it's just going to go to hell. So I didn't want to just sit back and watch her ruin her life. But at the same time, you can't go in with an iron fist because that's just going to make them hate you. But, Kaya, stop. What I'm trying to say is that if any of the two people, one of which is my mom, hi mom, if any of you have friends that are going through something like this and you want to step in, just be prepared to lose a friend for a while, Just be prepared to have to end that relationship. I mean, you should be prepared for that anyways if they're doing drugs, because the last thing you want is to be sucked in to doing drugs. You might think now, oh, I'll never do that, but, whoever, a drug addict didn't think when they were 5 that they'd be a drug addict. So, don't let them suck you in. Be prepared to lose a friend if you have to, because you are more important to yourself than anybody else should be. You should be your number one priority. I don't care what you say or how you think. Sometimes you just have to be selfish, and that's just the way life is. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. Because, do you think I wanted to lose Helium as a friend? No, she was my best friend. But sometimes it happens. And, like I said, I came in with the right attitude. So hopefully one day when she, or, when they come around, hopefully one day they'll come back, because, shit, man. Shit. There's just a whole lot of shit. Sorry. This is pretty recent, so I'm, oh God, look at my forehead. I'm still kind of beaten up about it. That's the other thing. You're going to be upset. You just lost a friend. That's, don't be afraid to be upset. It happens. If, shit, man. If you are so afraid to get upset that you don't want to confront somebody about something that they're doing wrong, you're setting yourself up for failure later down in the line, because you're going to have to do it eventually, whether it be, to a coworker, or to a friend, or even to, a family member. You're going to have to stand up for yourself one way or another. And something small, well, not small, but you know what I mean. Something like this is like the perfect thing to get the ball rolling. Just to prove to yourself that you don't need to be worried about being upset. Because emotions are temporary. Which, as somebody with BPD, just let me tell you, my emotions are they last a lot longer than normal people's do. So when I say emotions are temporary, emotions are freaking temporary. Like, I might be depressed for the next 6 months, but I also might only be depressed for the next 5 seconds. They will eventually subside. Your emotions will eventually go away. You will eventually be happy again. And who knows, maybe your friend doesn't come back and they don't want you in your life ever again. But that just opens up a slot for a more worthy best friend. Someone that wants to watch you succeed and wants to succeed with you, instead of a drug user who wants nothing but their next high. And I'm not saying all drug users want nothing but their next high. I'm just saying, with the type of drugs that Helium is doing and that Helium's partner is doing, that is the path that it's going down. And that is why I had to step in and say, yay, man. Because, fuck, a lot of drug addicts, they'll steal the money out of your wallet and they'll help you look for it for the next 6 hours. So, just in conclusion, don't be afraid. It's the biggest thing. Never be afraid. Don't be afraid of your emotions. Don't be afraid of the outcomes. Just don't be afraid. There are realistic things to be afraid of. Put your energy into being afraid of those. Don't just, if you want to be afraid of heights, be afraid of heights. But don't be afraid of circumstances that you can't control. Like, don't be afraid of how other people are going to react or other people are going to respond. Don't be afraid of that kind of stuff. You can control whether or not you go somewhere high up. You cannot control other people. So don't be afraid when it comes to that kind of stuff. And don't be afraid of your feelings, because you can always change that. You really can. If you're feeling sad, go out for a walk. If you're feeling sad, go hang out with some friends. Pet your animals. Do something. Be active. That's the biggest part about, being sad, is just getting up and getting active and getting your body in motion and getting those endorphins pumping. Which can be hard. But sometimes you just gotta force yourself to do it, Like, yeah. I hope this video at least helped somebody. I mean, I'm sure literally just gonna get like 2 views, but whatever. But, yeah. Sorry for the lack of posting. I'll see you guys next time. And I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are. Bye.